Gerard Pique not exactly complimentary about Real Madrid after Barca's 2-0 defeat at the Bernabeu yesterday in their Clasico. We're upset. We thought we could get a good result here because Madrid came into the game in a bad shape. It was one of the worst Madrid sides I've faced at the Bernabeu in the first half. It's not wrong, is he?
What was he scored half-time again?
It was 0-0, Shaq. I know you've been away.
No, I'm making the point. I mean, why say that as 0-0? I mean, what does that say about you as Barcelona? Go in there and against the worst Real Madrid team you've seen, yet you have nothing to show for it. It's a ridiculous comment from Gerard Pique.
A couple of chances in the first half, really a memory of any not.
Yeah, Griezmann put it over the bar, Messi of course.
So it wasn't like Courtois was absolutely getting pummeled. Do you know what I mean? So it's a strange thing to say. He tried to walk it back a little bit and, later on in the piece that he did to the journalists. But ultimately, you know, he could have just said, listen, they were there for the taking. Instead of saying this is the worst side.
Yeah.
You know, we know the things have changed for Real Madrid, but they've also changed for Barcelona. And they've got a game against Napoli coming up at home where they're favourites to win. Napoli are pretty much, you know, struggling in Serie A, moved up to, I think, 6. And if they're to get put out with them, you know, words like this come back are going to come back to haunt them.
It's interesting, though, because in a way, the Clasico set the bar so high over the years. When you look at the talent on the show, and obviously there's no Xavi and Iniesta, there's no Figo, Beckham and all that sort of thing. You don't have the superstars, maybe, that you had in the past. And that was kind of exemplified yesterday, wasn't it? In the fact that it was a Clasico wasn't full of quality.
Well, that's if you're considering Toni Kroos.
Yeah, who's getting on a bit,
Marcelo,
you know?
Varane, Ramos.
You can't put Marcelo in that sentence.
Well, you sat and made an argument with Nico yesterday about Ramos being world class.
He is world class.
Now you've just sat and told me there's no superstars in the game.
But there aren't the same sort of superstars.
Gerard Pique played in the game.
But is Marcelo at his peak? No. Is Ramos at his peak? No.
Listen, which makes it even worse.
2 years ago, we'd have been talking about this Clasico with as much enthusiasm as we would have in the past, albeit Ronaldo's now moved on.
Yes,
and I
that's
think
a big factor.
And that is a big factor. And both these squads have largely remained unchanged and have grown just a couple of years older. So maybe it doesn't have that impact that it did, but I still think it's one of the must-see games. This one didn't live up to all the hype because...
Last one didn't, it was 0-0 as well.
Yeah, Messi... And again, as we've said all season long, when he's anything less than superhuman, this Barcelona team is average at absolute best, despite what Gerard Pique may seem to think. And this isn't the Real Madrid that I think we knew of over the last few years. As a result, it felt a little bit flat to me.
There's no Pepe running around kicking everyone.
Let me see how Pepe runs around.
Like that. 1 point then. Real Madrid are clear at the top of the table with, 12 matches to go in Spain. Eden Hazard, though, will miss a lot of the run-in because he had to undergo ankle surgery. This has not been the signing that he or indeed Real Madrid were hoping for when he made that big move from Chelsea to the Spanish capital. 15 games, struggling with injury, just the 1 goal. How significant is him being out for Real Madrid's title chances?
Not as significant as they would have thought when they signed him because of the reasons that you mentioned. Look, he can't really do much about the injuries, if anything, but what he can do, and I think people at Madrid will have taken note of this, is not gloat about going away in the summer and putting on a pile of pounds, right?
Yeah.
And then having to come back and shake it all off. That was fine back in the day when none of us had schedules to keep to during the summer, and you did take 2 months off. Well, the game has changed, and players are expected by the money they get paid and by the profile they keep to keep themselves in a reasonable shape during the summer, to be in better shape when pre-season starts, so as you're not chasing your tail, and when you start chasing your tail, that's when injuries happen, right? Now, I know some of them might come down to tackling, but that's how injuries happen. When you're chasing your fitness all the time. So dare I say, for the outlay that they've had, they will expect from now on a bit more professionalism from Eden Hazard.
Look, you can come back from your off-season as fit as you like and still suffer just as many injuries and miss as much time. But to come back in the shape that he did doesn't help his cause, given how this season has played out. But to your question, Dan, in terms of their title chances, certainly in La Liga, quite clearly, it's their title to lose. I think Vinicius Jr., as exciting as he is. He's not the finisher that Eden Hazard is or can be at his absolute best. But I certainly think in terms of the league, he is more than capable of filling that void left by Hazard.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.